Coming up on iOS today, Rosemary Orchard and I have a long list of apps. What are these apps? What is this list? Well, it's the Apple Design Award finalists. There are lots of apps, and we'll be covering some of them in depth, and some of them will just be blazing past, but there's a lot to talk about, so stick around. You're going to love it.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
This podcast is supported by AT&T Active Armor. Right now, our lives are on our phones. And with our phones full of live-streamed exercise classes, midday work calls, and nightly family video calls, there's no room for fraud calls. Thankfully, AT&T makes customer security a priority, helping block those pesky calls. It's not complicated. AT&T Active Armor, 24/7 proactive network security and fraud call blocking to help stop threats at no extra charge. Compatible device and service required. Visit att.com/activearmor for details. And by Manscaped. Manscaped has the right tools to get the job done quickly, safely, and hygienically. Father's Day is just around the corner. Make your dad proud this year and get him the brand new Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 and Ultra Smooth package. Get 20% off plus free shipping by going to manscaped.com/twit. And by Audible. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word entertainment. Delve into your next title on Audible with Audible Plus. New members can try Audible Plus for 30 days. Download the Audible app and get started with a free trial at audible.com/iOS today or text iOS today to 500-500. Yes! Ha-ha! Wow. Can you feel it in the air? Apple's WWDC is just around the corner, and we here at iOS Today are super excited about that because we cover so many of Apple's operating systems. There's iOS, tvOS, watchOS, HomePod OS. I always forget if I've gotten all of them. There are lots of OSs. iPad OS. There you go. See, there's so many OSs, and we are super pumped to be talking about them here on this show, answering your questions and talking about great apps that are in the App Store and elsewhere. This show is all things Apple's operating systems. Yeah, we'll go with that. I am one of your hosts, Mikah Sargent.
And I'm Rosemary Orchard.
Rosemary, I am loving how your color theme, the shirt that you're wearing and even like the flowers and things on it match with the background so well. It's such a nice sort of lavender blossom sort of feel you've got going there. I'm digging it.
Oh, thank you very much. I've been reorganizing my office, so it's a little messier than normal in some ways, but my rainbow cloud is slightly more visible. Which way? That way.
Nice.
I'm pointing the wrong side, but it's a rainbow cloud. It's cute.
It's very cute. It's very cute. We've got a lot to cover today. We wanted to talk about so typically here's what would happen is Apple would host its WWDC conference. Well, no, that would be like saying ATM machine. Typically Apple would have hosted its WWDC, its Worldwide Developer Conference. And during that time, they announced the winners of the Apple Design Awards. Following that event, then we would cover those design awards on iOS Today. But this year, it's going to be WWDC happening, and then we're going to need to cover all the new stuff that happened at WWDC. So luckily, Apple has announced finalists for the Apple Design Awards quite a bit early ahead of the event, and we thought we would talk about these finalists. So Apple's Design Awards are an annual event where they say they honor excellence in innovation, ingenuity, and technical achievement in app and game design. What that translates to is these are apps that take advantage of the stuff that Apple puts out there for developers to use. So at WWDC, they announce updates for the different blank kit stuff that they have, the frameworks and the APKs and all that jazz. It's all this kind of all these tools that the developers can take advantage of. And over the year, as developers do take advantage of those tools and create incredible apps using those tools, then Apple awards them based on that design. So it's not necessarily going to always be sort of the best apps that are out there, or the most downloaded apps, or the most purchased apps. These are apps that use Apple's tools to make incredible experiences for iOS, tvOS, watchOS, etc. There are several categories this year, including, that's funny, inclusivity, delight and fun, interaction, social impact, visuals and graphics, and innovation. So lots of different categories here to choose from. And within each of those, there are 6 nominees, and there are a couple of repeats. So you may find that it would be interesting to see if any of these developers end up winning for more than one category. But yeah, let's get into it, because the first one is one that we can quickly talk about and then move on, because it's one that a lot of people I think are familiar with, and certainly you and I are very familiar with 1Password. It is and has been my password manager of choice for many a year now. I've had 1Password for a long time. Love 1Password. Dig the folks at 1Password who are creating it. 1Password, one of the things that you have to give them credit for is they are always on it when it comes to new stuff that gets announced by Apple. It's fun to follow the developers at 1Password, because oftentimes something gets announced on stage at WWDC, and if not the same day, the next day, they are already showing you videos of them taking advantage of the new technology. I can remember when the Touch ID came out on the MacBook Pro, and shortly after that, they had a working copy of 1Password that made use of Touch ID on the MacBook Pro, and it was so quick. So that's always been fun. Do you have anything quick you want to say about 1Password before we move on?
I mean, I just want to mention, I do have a couple of friends that work there, which naturally biases me towards them. But I met developers for 1Password at WWDC, like Monday afternoon after the keynote. And one of them was just sitting there and he's like, yeah, so I think I've got Touch ID working. And I was just like, boom, like mind blown. Like, you've been able to just sit down and figure that out. A, because they're very good developers, and, B, because, they really care about, getting all the latest tech in there. And it's great, whether or not you've got like a keyboard with Touch ID on, or you don't have a keyboard with Touch ID on, you want to use your Apple Watch to unlock 1Password on your Mac, that all works. It obviously integrates with things like Face ID and stuff on your iPhone and iPad, and Touch ID there too. So I'm really pleased that, they've got such a great app. Yeah, let's see what WWDC brings for them and everybody else.
Absolutely. All right. Up next is an app called A Monsters Expedition. This app is an Apple Arcade game, and so you can get it in Apple Arcade. Apple Arcade is a $4.99 purchase per month. So it's a subscription that gives you access to lots of different apps. So A Monsters Expedition is a puzzle game. And it, as the video that we're playing back shows, it's an open world puzzle game, so that you can sort of move around in a whole bunch of space and get to play around in that space as you slowly start to reveal the stage and try to make it through to the next round, or to the next level. It has lots of different scenes, lots of different interactions that are available. It's beautifully designed. It sounds amazing. It's a really neat game, but we will let you check it out if you'd like to. If you're an Apple Arcade member, why not download it and give it a try and check it out and see if it's something that's for you. Up next, Alba, and this, of course, we're going down the list of apps. So we are, starting in inclusivity. These are apps that are finalists in the inclusivity category for Apple Design Awards. And that can mean different things depending on the app. And one of those things could be that the app has representation that you would not get elsewhere. It could mean that the app is particularly accessible. There are different reasons why an app might be awarded an Apple Design Award for inclusivity. Alba is a wildlife adventure from Us2 Games. Us2 might be familiar to you as they make lots of great games, including the very incredibly popular, wow, why did I just forget what it was called? Monument Valley. There it is. And so if you like Monument Valley and you think that you would like to try more apps from the creators of Monument Valley, you've got to check out this game. It's a little bit kind of role-playing adventure, and it's just beautiful graphics once again. It's very cute, and you go around as Alba and you go on a wildlife adventure on this beautiful island. Again, an Apple Arcade game. You can get it on PC and through Apple Arcade for $4.99 a month. That is Alba. All right, this next one is a really fascinating one, Rosemary. It's called HoloVista. It is not an Apple Arcade game. It's $4.99 in the App Store. And it is a really interesting game. So I'm going to tap New Game here. And you can start to see the story. Okay, Carmen, you remember how to do this. They told you to take photos, so take photos. Deep breath, open camera. And this is what's really cool. It's using the accelerometer in my phone and the gyroscope and all that stuff in my phone to actually make this camera move. But as I move my phone around, and let me try to get it in front of the camera there. As I move my phone around, it's showing me this space in the game. So I'm going to go up. It says, look up. I look up and, oh, is that the moon? You can also use your fingers to move around if you need to. It is sort of if you don't have the space to move around. So I will pinch to zoom in and out. Toggle motion, sound, and accessibility controls and settings at any time. Find the white doves. So I'm looking around for the white. Oh, look, there are the white doves. Now photograph the white doves. I think I'll do a little zoom and I will snap my photo. Photograph everything on the list. A yoga statue. Would we consider that yoga?
I think so.
There's yoga. There's
that
the yoga
one's
statue.
definitely yoga.
So we'll take a photo of that. And then halo. I think that's the halo for sure.
Yep.
Yes. And now I need to find a leather jacket. Leather jacket.
I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be behind you.
Oh, no. Well, then I'm going to use my fingers to move behind me. And we'll look around. Leather jacket. Aha. There it is. And we'll snap a photo of that.
Bingo.
Oh, a peacock. Let's look for the peacock. Aha. Hello, peacock.
Well, that's a pretty peacock.
Very pretty. And it looks like we captured all of the photos that need to be captured in that round. And we are seeing kind of the opening interstitial scenes here that are showing you some of the stages. Ooh, bubble bath. And there's a bedroom and some skulls, as you see. Now, HoloVista, if I remember correctly, the story surrounds an architect who comes into this building, and it says, Carmen, a junior architect and new hire at an elusive firm. In this near future social media world, you're charged with photographing the inside of an opulent building. But beware, the house is getting to know you too, perhaps better than you know yourself. And so, yeah, you can try to find all these different, there's a wabbit and a model house. See, I'm not moving around as much because it's hard to do while I'm in a chair. There's the model house, a sewing kit, and a rosary. Where would someone put their rosary?
Guess they probably hang it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Oh, there it is. They got it sitting down. No, that's not a rosary. I thought it was.
No.
Could it be above their bed? There's the rosary next to their candle. Busted
Makes
shoes.
sense.
We hate busted shoes.
but they're right there next to the trash.
And our sister's photo. Hello, sis. Where did I see you? I remember seeing you. Where are you, sis?
I think it's on the bulletin board, right?
Bulletin board?
Not that bulletin board.
Ah, there
the
it
other
is.
Oh, there it is. Okay, it's on the shelves.
Wow, I'm gorgeous. All right. Scene complete in the apartment. So you get the idea. You can also then, as you start to play it, you have Monday unlocked. My name is Caramel Afternoon, and I can add photos. Pick the photo that matches the caption. Hail Mary, full of grace. Please let me ace this interview or I swear I'll eat this rosary. Well, I think we're going to use the rosary photo. Oh, look, we can add some filters to it. And we'll go with timid and post to feed. And there you go. It is Hail Mary, full of grace. We can tap on our thing to add even more photos. Never even would have made it to this interview if not for the Inez Razzo, still striving to be worthy of sharing your amazing genes. I'm going to guess that's my sister. We'll go with timid and we'll post it to our feed. So you get the idea. A really fun interactive game that sort of puts you in the world of this person who is working their new job. So they call it it's categorized as a role-playing game. And HoloVista's subheading says a mixed reality mind bender. So you explore these environments and you find hidden objects, solve puzzles, and get to know the characters within Carmen's world. Really cool. HoloVista, available for $4.99 in the App Store. Would you like to talk about either of these other two? Okay, cool. Yeah. Let me know about them.
Yeah. So the next one is Me, a Kid's Diary. So for people who are familiar with something like Day One, this is a similar sort of thing, but targeted at kids. And so the idea is it gives kids hundreds, as it says, of prompts, and these are just designed to be fun and inspiring, and basically just trying to help your kids get into the process of actually, tracking their own lives, and saving things. So you can create avatars for your stuff and things like that. You can add stickers to your photos, things that are going to be, more engaging, and more creative, perhaps than, just, sitting down and writing with a pen and paper in a notebook, or, typing or something, which, is fine. But there's text to speech involved, as well, which you can do for lots of supported languages. I believe it supports all of the languages that Apple supports, which is great. And it's a very nice looking app. It's very, clearly targeted at people who are looking for something that is, going to be attractive to their kids. Because I don't know about you, Mikah, but I found when I used to be a teacher, kids tend not to be interested in the stuff that's just like, black text on a white sheet of paper. You photocopy it onto pink paper, however, and ooh, I want that one. And they'll argue over different handouts just because they're different colors, even though they're exactly the same handout. And so, they've done a good job targeting this for kids. And I really like it. It seems like a lovely idea. And I particularly like the avatar. There's a lot that you can say about, data privacy. And obviously you can record stories and sounds and have photos and stuff in the app. But, the fact that you start by creating an avatar means the kid can represent themselves however they see fit. And that means heart-shaped sunglasses or a hat with a little propeller on it if they want. They can do whatever they like.
I think it's a really cute little diary app that is, I like the idea of kind of getting kids started on journaling. We know that it is actually a really good technique for cognitive therapy. And if you can get someone kind of in the habit of journaling, it can be very helpful. Because for me, I don't know about you, but me personally, it's a struggle to journal. I'm like, oh man, I really want to sit down and do this. So it'd be good to get in the habit there. The next one in inclusivity is really, really cool. I didn't download this one because it is $20. But if it is something that you need, this is absolutely the one that's worth checking out. It's called Voice Dream Reader. And Voice Dream Reader is a text-to-speech app that is incredible. So what it does is not only does it let you sort of input text or drop in text or that kind of thing, but it lets you scan and OCR documents and then have it play back. It has synchronized highlighting that's built into it. And it's not just a robotic voice. There are really high quality, super well built voices that they have within the app to help you be able to read documents. You can import from Dropbox. It's got so many different integrations. Dropbox is just one of them, but you can import documents from all sorts of things and be able to read them. And then if you want to, you can buy more voices if you'd like, but you don't have to do that. And it's gotten so many good reviews. And it says it comes with one premium acapella voice of your choice with the purchase of the app. Acapella is the designer of these text-to-speech engine voices. And so you get one for free, plus the iOS voices that are built in. But again, I recommend going with the acapella voice as it is a better quality. And then they also have some other voices available from Acapella, some other voices available from a company called NeoSpeech and Ivona. And then you can also, if you regularly have a word or a name or something that's mispronounced, you can set up a pronunciation dictionary to help with that as well. It takes in PDF, plain text, Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, RTF, Google Docs, web articles, Bookshare books, EPUB books, Daisy text-based books and audiobooks in MP3, MP4, or zipped MP3 format, rich text and images supported for all documents. And then, as I said, it's got that built-in scanner that will OCR different documents and read them back to you. So this is just a really, really well-built app for, and I should say incredibly powerful app for letting you read anything out loud.
Yeah, I particularly like the way that it highlights words as it reads them to you, because that, of course, will, it's really helpful for lots of people, but especially kids learning to read or people with dyslexia. It can be very helpful to be able to try and associate that, the shapes that you're seeing with, the sounds that you hear. And I know I pronounce words incorrectly because I learned them by reading, and I've never actually, bothered to look up the phonetic pronunciation. So it's not until I say something like premise where somebody goes, no, it's premise. Oh, okay. Right. Sorry. Some of that's American versus British English as well in my case. So just extra complications. But it's great. It even has native support for Pocket, Instapaper, Evernote, all kinds of things. So if you want something that can read your documents to you, then this is definitely going to be a great app.
Agreed. So that is I've already forgotten the name of it because I've lost my page.
Voice Dream Reader.
Thank you. Voice Dream Reader in the App Store, available for $19.99. Yeah. Within app purchases again for different voices that you can add to it.
Yeah. But you do get one voice for free with that original purchase. It's only if you want to buy extra ones of the other voices that aren't iOS native voices that you need to pay more.
All righty. Let us take a quick break, and we will be back after these messages. This podcast is supported by AT&T Active Armor. Right now, our lives are on our phones, and with our phones full of live-streamed exercise classes, midday work calls, and nightly family video calls, there's no room for fraud calls. Thankfully, AT&T makes customer security a priority, helping block those pesky calls. It's not complicated. AT&T Active Armor, 24/7 proactive network security and fraud call blocking to help stop threats at no extra charge. Compatible device and service required. Visit att.com/activearmor for details. All right. We are back with more. The next one is the next category. It's delight and fun. And up first, we have Little Orpheus by the Chinese Room. Little Orpheus is an Apple Arcade game. So again, $4.99 per month subscription to give it a go. But look at all of those awards it's won. This is a game that has gotten a lot of attention, and it is available here on the App Store through Apple Arcade. Little Orpheus, as the app shows, is better with headphones and sound, and you can play with your fingers, or you can use a controller to play with it. So you can see there, it's not quite an endless runner, sort of a platformer, but you move through these stages as a character as you're exploring all these different worlds and destinations, trying to move through. So if you're into exploration adventure games, exploration adventure games with, once again, beautiful sets and incredible graphics, Little Orpheus is definitely worth giving it a look. You can play it on the Mac. You can play it on Apple TV. You can play it on your iPad, iPhone, etc. The quick premise is, the year is 1962, and NASA are trying to put a man on the moon. In a remote corner of Siberia, a Soviet cosmonaut is heading in the other direction. Comrade Ivan Ivanovich is dropped into an extinct volcano in his exploration capsule, Little Orpheus, to explore the center of the Earth, where he promptly vanishes. Then he emerges later, claiming to have saved the world. He has also lost the atomic bomb powering the Little Orpheus, taken to a top-secret bunker deep below the Ural Mountains to be debriefed by the fearsome General Yurkovoy, a man so frightening even Stalin won't buy him a drink. It goes on from there. It's a rich story, as you can tell, but it's a really fascinating thing with, again, just gorgeous graphics. Some of these I want to have as wallpapers on my Mac, of these shots.
Yeah. No, I love the idea of it being a proper story with a nice, background. And if you're watching the show today, then you'll have seen dinosaurs and stuff pop up in there. The idea is that the hero goes through lost civilizations, undersea kingdoms, prehistoric jungles, all of these amazing things. And the scene there with the jellyfish actually reminds me of a wine museum I went to once near Salzburg, which I don't know if that's saying something about the scene or about the wine museum. Both were very, the wine museum at the very least was a surreal experience. So I guess this must be as well. But I love the fact that, that it's combining some of the things that we have seen, elsewhere, like, Jurassic Park and dinosaurs and things like that. Clearly they're, sharing some graphics there, and it's great. I love it. It's great. It's a really good story. I've been playing it a little bit on my Apple TV, and I really enjoyed it so far. I'm not very far along, but I have enjoyed what I've played.
Nice. Up next is Pok Pok Playroom. You get a 2-week free trial, and then it's $3.99 a month after that. And this is definitely an app for youths. Not to say that you can't play it if you're not a youth, but it is designed for youths. And you can kind of think of it as a little treasure chest full of toys. So they're just kind of like little fidgety games you can play, little interactive experiences that you can play around with. So you can pick up the tablet or the iPhone or whatever tool, and as they're kind of showing here, instead of a room full of toys that are just getting messy, you can play with these different toys within the app. So there's lots of different kind of stages, and they're always adding new ones. That's why it's a subscription service as opposed to just a one-time purchase, because they add new experiences, new little games over time for the kids to play. So yeah, think of it as a little toy chest in your iPhone or iPad.
I do have a bonus tip for you. If you're going to be giving a 2 to 6-year-old a 12.9-inch iPad Pro, please make sure you have AppleCare, just in case. I'm not saying that your 2 to 6-year-old is going to be malicious, but if you're giving your kids one of these devices, AppleCare is definitely a worthy investment for any games like this, just in case.
And a super thick case as well.
Yeah, you want an OtterBox on that or something. Yeah. But still, don't skip the AppleCare. Even with cases, accidents can happen.
Yes, they can. And that'll cost you a lot more than the $3.99 per month subscription for Pok Pok Playroom. Up next, Poolside FM. Some of you cool cats may have heard about Poolside FM before. It is just a fun app that has music that's kind of always playing. Weird. On my iPad, it says Poolsuite FM, but that's definitely...
It is Poolsuite. That's what's in the delight category.
So Poolsuite is the name of the company, but they list it in as see, that's interesting. There's an error on Apple's developer page. If you're on developer.apple.com/design/awards under Delight and Fun, the third one there says Poolside FM by Poolsuite. But when you click on it, it takes you to Poolsuite FM. So I wonder if they've changed the name since the start of it, because it definitely...
I think that was an Apple editorial typo, because I just reloaded the page and it says Poolsuite FM on the developer site. So maybe...
Oh, that's funny.
Maybe somebody's already got in there and fixed that since you opened the page.
It's been updated on mine.
There we go.
That's so funny. Wow. Okay, so now called Poolsuite FM, at one point called Poolside FM, because I remember going to the site and it would go Poolside. But anyway, this is a fun little app that just has music that you can kind of play in the background throughout the day. But it also has some kind of interactive experiences. So it's a little bit like... Look, they even updated the music so that it says Poolsuite. It's a little bit like Pok Pok Playroom in that it's got these little fidgety experiences, but they're more for adults. So you might get a kick out of the old school design that's available as you scroll through and see some different jokes and the different things that you have. But the whole point of it is to listen to some great music. And I know a lot of people like to use this in the background of their streams, because all that music is available there. But here it is on the iPhone. It says, Lifeguard Louie says, "Hey, friend, welcome to the pool. We're so happy you made it. I'll show you around." I tap let's go. The first thing to know is that there's different music channels to choose from, so be sure to check them all out. I love Tokyo Disco. And when you find a track that gets your motor running, you can add it to your favorites if you create an account. Hey, mind if I ping you when we add a new feature? I won't bother you often. I know how busy you are. No, thanks. Okay, you're all set. Time to dive in. Cannonball. So here we are. There's Pool Cam, so that I could take a photo here. Let's see. I'm trying to get in the zone here. All right. There we go.
I love the fact that your shirt, especially with that filter they've got there, really looks like you picked it intentionally for this. I know you didn't, but it works really well with the app. I'm impressed.
Yeah, that's true. And then you can AirPlay the music. So it's, even though it's got this, unique skin, the tools themselves are work with all of Apple's different stuff. And again, as we said, that's part of it. The whole point of this is that these tools make use of Apple's built-in tools, these apps make use of Apple's built-in tools. And then you can see these different tracks in the summer. If I hit play, it would play music. I'll tap that to switch between them. So there's Poolsuite FM, there's Pink Lemonade, there's Pool Water, Seashore Resort, Bubba Hubba, Peach Meringue, The Green New Deal. And then if you want to get these other ones, you got to sign in to unlock. And then even more where you need to listen to so many tracks if you want to be able to use them. So now I've set up a theme here that I can listen to with this. This is Poolsuite FM. What was once Poolside FM now becomes Poolsuite FM and is one of the apps in the Delight and Fun category. Available completely for free in the App Store, available on the Mac, on iOS, and then there's also Poolsuite's own page, which is poolsuite.net. All right, let's move on to the next one. Rosemary, have you heard of RakugakiAR?
I had not, but I love this idea. So I've got a lot of friends who are creative, or who've got family members or friends of their own who are creative. They can have friends other than me. It's okay. I love the idea that, these people can create an amazing piece of artwork. And then I can basically animate it and show off and be like, isn't this cool? So basically you take a picture of a doodle or something else, and then the app brings it to life. So it'll get up, and the idea is you do it like, you pick an animal. And so you've got a panda as the example and a giraffe. But if you do that, then, you can feed them and play with them. And I just love this idea. You draw a character, you color it in. This is a great one if you're for you parents out there or anybody who knows children, because you'll be able to take your kids' drawings or whoever's kids they are, and animate them, and the doodle just pops up and it's got like this little cardboard effect inside of it, and you can have like AR toys for it and stuff as well. It's just great. I really love it, and it's only 99 cents, which is even better. And it's a one-time purchase for that price. And so the name is RakugakiAR. And that is with a K in the Raku and Gaki part. And we'll make sure there's a link to it in the show notes. But of course, you can find all the links to all of these apps on the Apple's Design Awards page as well.
Yes. So I, in my brilliant artistry, have designed an incredible creature that I'm calling Thomas. And so Thomas, and let me just switch over here. This is Thomas. And,
oh, wow. That is impressive.
Thank you so much.
I'm not being sarcastic here, Mikah. My artistic skills are incredibly lacking when it comes to drawing. I'm not too bad at writing. I think maybe you need to be a bit further away.
So let's see. There we go. Now I've got Thomas, and I'll click scan. And now Thomas, what? Thomas is coming to life. Hello, Thomas.
Oh my gosh, that is so amazing.
Look at Thomas. Hi, pal.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, what did I
really like
Thomas,
the way
I'm sorry.
I really love the way that they've made it sort of 3D. So when these animate, they're mostly 2D, but they're double-sided, and they just put the same image on the back. So it has, if you've drawn two eyes on the front, it has two eyes on the back, but they give it some thickness by giving it like a corrugated cardboard effect. Mikah, have you lost Thomas? Can I suggest just pointing your camera over towards the top left?
Top left.
Oh, no, he's not there. Okay. We've officially lost Thomas.
Oh, Tommy boy.
No.
I wonder how I restart. So you can actually use it with other photos. Let me rescan old Tommy boy here. There we go. And then we can give Tommy some toys. So we'll put...
while you're playing, Chicken Head in the chat room has a very important question for you, which is how much is it for the NTF of Thomas?
I'll have to get back to you on that, because this is an exclusive Sargent original, and as you know, there are Sargents. Who is it? Singer Sargent, John Singer Sargent, who is a famous artist, and who I may or may not be related to. Oh no, Thomas did a poo. I gave Thomas so much food that Thomas did a poo. Oh, Tommy boy. Oh man. That, folks, is RakugakiAR, which is for 99 cents, you can turn your beautiful, incredible illustrations into little animated characters. And just think about, thinking about all the little kids who draw something, and then you can show them having it come to life, and then they'll have a little chuckle when Thomas does a poo. I think it's really clever, and as the category suggests, it's delightful and it's fun.
Yes. And somebody in the chat room, I believe it was Mike, was asking, James, was asking compatibility, any device running iOS 12 or iPadOS 12 or later. So even if it's an older device that isn't running the latest operating system, just for reference, before WWDC, everybody is running iOS 14, I hope. This is even devices that lost support 2 years ago. So it's pretty cool. So give it a try. And at 99 cents, I'd say it's well worth it.
Absolutely. I actually will definitely be gifting this to my sister. So when my niece is old enough to start drawing, she can do that with her illustrations. All right, let's zoom through the next two here. We've got two Apple Arcade games. I'll cover. Do you have either of these downloaded?
I have not, though. I've been looking at South of the Circle just because it seems appealing. It's the kind of game that I would be likely to play, but I've had so many games to play recently that I haven't had a chance to download it yet. But this is, so I'll talk about it a little bit because I've just been looking at it and I've watched the previews and everything. So the idea is it's a narrative adventure game. So if you liked the sound of Little Orpheus earlier, you're probably going to like this as well. And it's even better value for your money with Apple Arcade. So the idea is you are crashed in an aircraft in Antarctica in 1964. And you're at the Cambridge Academic Peter. You stumble from the wreckage in search of help fighting the cold. And the lines between the past and the present begin to blur. And so it's a love story. And it's interesting. It's certainly something that I can imagine myself playing and probably enjoying. And they seem to have done a lot of research on the 1960s where the game is set, which is great. There's nothing worse than playing a game which is theoretically set in a specific time period. I don't know, say like the Renaissance period, and then somebody pulls out a cell phone. It's just jarring.
Historical
when that happens.
Is not fun.
Yeah. I usually things aren't that bad, but I frequently spot bloopers whenever I'm reading a book or something, and it's annoying when somebody's describing a dress that's clearly the wrong fashion for that era or whatever it is. And I studied art fashion at school, so I have a little more insight into that than most people, I will grant you. But I really loved the way that they've decided to, put this together. They've got some people from, various shows. So there's people from Bohemian Rhapsody, Game of Thrones, Chernobyl, Downton Abbey, and other, stars who are, involved in this. So it's pretty amazing. I'm impressed.
Yes. All right. The next one is called Wonderbox. I'll talk about this one briefly because this is one that I have played with before. Wonderbox is pretty neat. It's also an Apple Arcade game, so $4.99 a month that lets you create your own little games that then people can play. So you start out as a character and you can play the campaign where you go through these different stages. Actually, if you want to, Anthony, let's just show the videos because I think that'll give us a better summary. It has these different platforms that you can create. So you sort of collect items and you build a stage, and then you can share that stage with other people or play it through yourself. So it's got, they call it a reanimator, but it's a spawn block where you can spawn enemies from certain areas. There's like music blocks where you can add in tones as someone walks over it. You put spaces between things. You can give the person tools to get through the stage. So you're building your own puzzle stages. And that's why it's called Wonderbox, because it is a box full of different tools that you can use to build out a level and create some fun for yourself and for others. It does have multiplayer so that you and other people can join together on one stage. So you can create a stage and then invite your friends to play with you, or they can go and play your stage on their own. And then I'm going through the campaign right now just to play that, and it's been a lot of fun. So yeah, it's a really fun, clever game that combines both a story, which is the campaign part, and then the ability to create your own stages, which is just, it's fun to get out that creativity through your own little box, essentially, your own little Wonderbox. So yeah, that is Wonderbox, the Adventure Maker, available via Apple Arcade. We'll take a quick break here and be back with the next category, which is interaction. And you might find us zooming through some of these next ones as we've got still a lot to cover as we continue with the show. But first, I got to tell you about Manscaped, who are bringing you this episode of iOS Today. So, you may be trying to keep yourself nice and tidy. You shave your beard, you put in some hair product, and you take care of other regions of your body. And, maybe you've run into some issues doing that. and things did not go as you planned. Any of us who are keen to keep things in tip-top shape have experienced one or two of those situations where things don't quite go as you planned. Manscaped is here to help you make sure that things go as you planned. It's the only men's brand dedicated to below-the-waist grooming, and the brand new shaving tools that Manscaped just dropped right in time for Father's Day take things even further. You can complete the grooming game for the dad in your life. The Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer is now available in the USA and Canada. So what makes this waterproof trimmer different from all other trimmers? Well, it's got a 7,000 RPM trimmer, which features skin-safe technology to help reduce manscaping accidents. A new multifunction on-off switch can engage a travel lock created for jet setters, because nothing is more awkward than sort of going through the process and then suddenly something starts vibrating in your bag and they're going, "What is that?" And you go, "Well, I guess I'll have to let you see." It also has a 4000K LED spotlight, so that you can get a more precise shave, even in a low light area like the shower. Additional guard lengths, which is an improvement even on the last generation of the lawnmower. There are sizes 1 to 4, so you can trim to your liking. And the craftsmanship and details of this new Lawnmower 4.0 are next level. The performance is astounding. If you want to get the complete package, you got to check out the Manscaped Ultra Smooth package. It's a 3-step kit to help keep your family jewels protected. The 3 steps start with step 1, the crop exfoliator. It's infused with ingredients that can soothe, clear, and keep the skin on and around your nether regions feeling refreshed, reducing the risk of ingrown hairs by your delicates. Step 2 is the crop gel. This is a unique formula because it has a clear shaving gel so that you can see where you're doing your work. And step 3, it's time to shave. So you need the crop shaver. It was specifically designed for your nether regions so you can shave with confidence. 3 precision blades include extra wide lubricating strips and a pivoting head so that the experience is exactly as you expect. All 3 of these vegan, cruelty-free, and sulfate-free products are included, so you know your manhood is in good hands. Get 20% off plus free shipping by going to manscaped.com/twit. This is the perfect package for you and your dad's perfect package. That's 20% off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com/twit. That's manscaped.com/twit. It's dad bod season, folks. So it's time to get smooth. Thanks so much to Manscaped for sponsoring this week's episode of iOS Today and the Twit Network. And now it's time to return to the show and a lonely bird. It is one of the apps in the interaction category, and it starts with Bird Alone. Bird Alone is an app about a lonely bird, and it is kind of a there are lots of different interactions within this game. There are quite a few of these that have kind of multiple interactions that you get to take advantage of. And it starts with how you're feeling, asks you some questions. So I'll show here on my screen. It starts by asking, Bird Alone would like to use your location to match the weather outside with the weather in here. Is that okay? So I'm going to switch away really quick so that I can accept that and allow while using the app. And then we'll come back to it after that's done. Hello. And then I'll say, who said that? It was me. It was Mikah. Hello, Mikah. It's a bird. Wow. You're beautiful. Oh, parrot. Hey, Mikah. Want to be my friend? Absolutely. Serious? Oh, I don't know. This is all so sudden. Okay, you asked me. No. Oh, no. Not friends. Best friends. Mikah and So when you're alone, you don't need a name. That's true. But best friends need names. I need something cool, hot, chic. Pick for me. Well, obviously, the only cool, hot, and chic name is Oswald. Oswald? Oswald! Oswald! It's perfect. I feel so cute. You are cute, bird. Mikah and Oswald, best friends forever. So, let's get to know each other. How are you feeling today? Asks Oswald. There's not too shabby and quite rubbish. I'm going to choose not too shabby. Yay! Hooray for good moods. Agreed, Oswald. I got to show you something. Okay, please do. Follow me. And then I can tap an arrow to follow Oswald. And we're in a new place now. It says, welcome, Mikah, to this side. So we went from one side to the other. I'd say it's pretty cool if you asked me. Not like anyone ever did anyway. We got the sky all to ourselves, Mikah. How about this weather? A beautiful, clear day. Avoid. What's it mean when the sky is clear like today? That the sky's mind is clear with no worries? It clears my mind up, that's for sure. I've got a fun idea. A way for us to get even closer. And for you to get creative. Ooh. Can you draw what makes you happy? Oh, so I've got some different colors here that I can use. Let's see. What makes me happy? Oh, I know. I will draw. And we'll do this. And that. God, I'm such an incredible artist. And then we'll fill this in. And then we'll put some smoke or some steam. Obviously, what makes me happy is a piping hot mug of that was supposed to be a heart. And then I'll choose this makes me happy. Have I gone back in time to the Renaissance? It's like you reached into my... Nobody gets to make fun of me for saying it that way. That's how it's supposed to be said. I know everybody says Renaissance, but Renaissance is correct. You know what makes me happy? This painting. I'll choose no idea. Oh, I love this bird. I love this bird. This Oswald and I are best friends. I'm going to keep this somewhere very special. Oh my God, does Oswald have a fridge? That can't be good for the rainforest. This is Oswald calling Mikah. I'm going over there.
Folks, I
folks,
love the way he flaps his wings. It's just so cute.
I want to just keep playing with Oswald. Oswald's my best friend, but we do have more that we need to cover. And Oswald is going to show me something cool. While Oswald shows me something cool on the other side, Rosemary, why don't you show us something cool, which is the next app on the list?
Well, the next app on our list should not be a stranger to the folks listening to iOS today, and that is Carrot Weather. And Carrot Weather's recently gone up to version 5, and it's featured in the interaction category for a very good reason. First of all, it tells you things, when you open it. I've set mine to friendly snark at the moment, so it says, here, have some sun. It looks like you need it. But if you tap on the option in the top right, then you can go into AR mode and so on. But there's also this carrot section at the bottom. And if you do things like tap its sensor, then it will comment about it. And this is specifically the ocular sensor. And you'll notice that there are achievements down here. And I've unlocked quite a few of these. So the first time you experience rain, you get a Bringer of Rain achievement. And if you get a forecast with 7 straight days of sunshine, then Apollo smiles upon you. And things like that. And, if you find areas with, say, an active winter storm hazard, then you can get these awards. But you can also go on missions to do things like find a Tesla. I actually have no idea where I would find a Tesla except at Elon Musk's house, and I don't know where that is. So I'm going to guess that it's probably, talking about Nikola Tesla rather than Tesla, the car. But it's carrot, so it could be anything. And I just love the way that you can interact with this app. One thing I should mention is under the settings, you can actually change the layout of the application. And there are a whole bunch of different layouts that you can play with. So there's Odin, Siren, Kronos, Fenrir, Bahamut, and Puck. And you can actually use any of these. So depending on how you want your weather presented, you can have it in different formats. You can also create your own layouts, which is pretty nice. One thing I should mention is it integrates with things like a NetAtmo weather station. So if, like me, then you have a NetAtmo weather station, I have one including the rain sensor, then it can use that data to tell you what the weather's going to be like, which is pretty darn cool. I love this app. It's great. It's pretty. And it tells me the weather accurately. It even has rain notifications. So if my dad's about to go out and mow the lawn, he has a subscription for Carrot as well. If he gets a push notification saying it's going to rain in 20 minutes, he'll zip out there and mow the lawn. It's the UK. Our gardens are quite small here usually, so he can do it in 20 minutes. But yeah, if he knows it's going to rain in 5 minutes, then he won't bother. And I love the app. It's a great pick. So well done to Apple for picking something I already knew was wonderful.
Yes, agreed. We love carrot weather. Up next is Craft. Craft is a document editor that it sort of has a new take on the way that document editing should work. And that definitely is why it's in the interaction category. So Craft it's got this sort of node module idea to it. And so I can tap into the Welcome to Craft page and show you a little bit about how this works. At the top, it says, "Hi there, thanks for downloading Craft. In this doc, you can read more about how Craft can help you and how it's different from other tools out there." Now, each of these sections are individual little nodes that I can make adjustments to. So you can see that I just swiped to the left on the separator, and I can select multiple nodes, multiple blocks, and make adjustments to them by grouping them together, by doing certain actions like cut, copy, duplicate, or convert to a document. I can share just those sections, or I can change the style of those sections. So I'm going to deselect and just choose that separator. I'll choose style, and then I can change the way that separator looks. So now I've gone from 3 dots in the middle to kind of a thick black line to separate it. Then I'll deselect that, and I'll scroll down and choose, let's choose how, when to use Craft, and then select these other ones. And then I will group those together. And you can see that it quickly became its own little section there that I can then tap on, and boom, we pop into the little area that has all of these. So you can see how quickly you'll be able to organize things as you want to. So I'll select that again and choose Ungroup, because I want to show the other option here, Actions Convert to Doc. So now that has been created as its own document that is available. It's called New Document right now. And so I could give that a name. And we'll select this title, cut it, and paste it up at the top. And then we'll bring this up to the top of the page, choose Done. And then we can go back to Welcome to Craft. And if we hit the plus button, it will add a block. And I don't want to add it there. I want to put it down at the bottom. So we can take that and scroll it down to the bottom. Oops, where did it go? There we go. And we'll choose that document again, and then you can see that I can add things from the library, add things from the camera, add things from Unsplash, which is a site I've talked about before. Great place to get free images. Sketch, which will let you actually create a sketch scan so that you can create a document scan, add from your files page if you want to, etc. And then what we'll do is I tapped the slash button because that's a quick way to access different pages, different modules. So there's list style, there's text style, decorations, color, indentation, alignment, font, date and time, insert snippet, insert separator. And so we'll choose, I'm trying to remember there's a way to sort of link out to another page, but I'm forgetting how to do that at the moment. But I can quickly, there we go. I wanted to choose page here. And then we can go ahead and select that page like so. And then we could drop that that I had created before into this page. So we'll just go ahead and delete that. And then we'll come and select, I really like this feature here. So I'll select how craft is different, and I will choose edit. And then I will choose the formatting thing, and I'll choose card. And then you can change the way that the card looks. So how craft is different, a modern style, a classy style, or a fun style. You can give it a background like so, and then we'll choose apply style. And then you could add everything that's below it into that card. So the other option would have just been to select everything that was there. And then we could take that and it's been a while since I've used this app. There we go. And then drag and drop it how you need to. So it's a really sort of intuitive way to edit documents and create kind of individual little nodes and modules as you need, and organize your documents exactly as you want them, to select different things and move it around as you need to. And it's a really interesting way to do document editing. And it even has some cool features like code and math formulas. So you can use it for taking notes for math. It has information including Markdown, which it uses for formatting, and some other quick styling tools, how to create pages. And there we go, linking content. You can easily add a link to any page or block you have in Craft. To do so, just type @ and start searching for the block you would like to add. So let me show you that, because that was the one feature that I think is really important, because it lets you start to see how these things get organized, and how you can kind of almost create a wiki, if you will, that will, create a whole database of content. So let me go back to the bottom of this, and we'll choose @ We'll choose @ and then now I'm trying to remember what it was called. How craft is different. And we'll find this. Okay, then done. And then we can tap on that and it takes you to actually this page again. So I selected the wrong link, but you get the idea with that. I believe I can also then take this and change it so that it shows as a page or it shows as a card again. And that then will link out to, okay, so then it will link to that page. Again, a really cool way to kind of organize your documents and create a bit of a wiki. As they say, it lets you create structured content. And also, I forgot, it features collaboration. So you and others can work together to create documents as you need to. And I think it's just a really interesting tool. All right. Nova is another one that's on the list under interaction, but Nova is a Mac app, so we won't be covering it on this show, but just briefly mentioning that it is an app for code editing by Panic, who are incredible.
Yes.
Then we'll quickly mention the other one in this category. It's called Sping. Sping is an app that it's a game, and it is available in Apple Arcade. And you can play it, for $4.99 a month. You can get that along with the other Apple Arcade games. And it's a puzzle platformer where you are this little constantly moving kind of diamond shape, and you are trying to work your way through each platform and moving along. So
it reminds me a little bit of Jazz Jackrabbit back in the day on Windows machines. It's very similar to that with the constant movement, or seemingly constant movement anyway.
Yeah, inertial puzzle platformer. And then Wonderbox is also in the category for interaction. So congratulations to Wonderbox for making it into two places. Up next is Social Impact. And it starts with Alba from the makers Us Two Games. We mentioned that before. So they also got it into the category of social impact. The next one is Attentat 1942. It's available in the App Store for $3.99, and it is a mixed media game that is a historically accurate story, a historically accurate story. It says, face moral dilemmas as you uncover the troubled past of your family. Award-winning adventure about World War II through the eyes of survivors. A historically accurate adventure told through the eyes of World War II survivors. Many moral dilemmas and existential struggles await you on your way to discover the troubled past of your family. Written and made by professional historians. So if you're looking for a game that doesn't have those sort of historical inaccuracies, you want to check out this game because was actually written and made by historical history professionals, which is really cool, I think. It has deep branching dialogue where your choices actually matter. Some people really like that kind of style. Interactive comics and memories. You can hide resistance leaflets from the Gestapo or flee from a Nazi prison. And it includes rare digitized film footage and historical items within it. So it is just a fascinating game worth checking out. Only $3.99 for this beautiful, beautiful game. And it is in Czech, English, German, and Russian, available in all of those languages. So you can choose which one you want to play the game in. That is Attentat 1942. The next one on Apple's list is Be My Eyes. And I want to give this one some attention for a second because Be My Eyes is such a cool idea. It's available for free, and it is for two kind of groups of people. One is are people who need visual assistance, and the other is for people who want to volunteer to provide visual assistance. So you can see there are 4,751,152 volunteers and 309,983 folks with low or no vision. I'm going to choose I'd like to volunteer. And it says, want to start answering calls? Be My Eyes lets you lend your eyesight to people who need it. Sign up, join our global network, and make a big difference in the everyday lives of people without sight all over the world. I'll choose I am new, and then I can sign up with Apple. So I will do that right quick. And by doing so, I just, Face ID in, and then I can start to fill this out. So it starts with suggested languages. I will speak English, and then it wants to have access to the microphone and to send you notifications. It says, we're happy to have you on board. You're now part of a growing community of eyes helping blind people all over the world. Helping is easy. Your device is open for calls as long as you're logged in. Keep in mind, it might take some time before you receive your first call. While you wait, give a listen to our community stories, podcasts, and more for new communities. And then you can get emails if you'd like. I'm going to choose not now. And now this is available while I'm logged into the app. I can receive a call at any time for help. And what happens is someone with low or no vision who is, doing something and needs help with it, I might get a call at some point saying, hey, I've got my remote in front of me, but I'm not sure which button lets me change the input for HDMI. Would you be able to guide my hand to that button? Or somebody may be out and about looking, I don't know which sign I'm supposed to be using. I don't know which button I should press. I don't know which thing I should purchase. Basically anything that a person with low or no vision might need help with, they can reach out to any of the volunteers and get help through this app. I think it's incredible. I think it's truly incredible. And the fact that there are so many volunteers, 4,751,152 volunteers for 309,983 low or no vision folks who have signed up for the app. That's pretty cool. It has some information in here, like how to teach you how to answer a call properly. And then it has community stories that you can read about to see how the app works. But glad, of course, that it's available for free as it should be, so that you can download it and be a volunteer or get help as you need to. That is Be My Eyes, available for free in the App Store. I'll quickly mention the next one. And then Rosemary, if you want to talk about the final two, if found in Klima, that would be great. But I'll quickly mention Brief. Brief is a nifty app for news. It's a relatively expensive app, $7.99 a month. But during the presidential election here in the United States, I subscribed to it during that time because it had this great way to keep up with the election and know kind of what was going on. But the way the Brief works is it's like, hey, we know you got a lot of news out there to follow, and there's stuff that you don't really need to know and stuff you do need to know and stuff you want to know. Brief helps you kind of sort through the noise and gives you 3 to 4 stories a day that have the most important pieces. So you can read about them. You can learn about different perspectives on the piece. It has links out to different articles. And then the person who wrote it for Brief, you can actually text them to get more information if you want to through Brief itself. The widget functionality of Brief is kind of what makes it magical, because then you can have on your home screen some different information quickly to see what's going on. All right, tell us about these last two in social impact.
Well, the first one is If Found, and If Found is it's a visual novel. So it's not exactly a game. It's not exactly a book. It's more like a comic in many ways. And the story is set in December, or at the end of December, at the end of 1993, where Cassio, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. I've never been very good at pronouncing Irish names, so I'm very sorry. Destroys her diary. And the entire, book is basically the story up until this point. And then, it continues onwards as a game, where, you've got hand-drawn art, a really great soundtrack from what I was hearing earlier today. I installed it on my iPad. Unfortunately, my iPad is not playing ball with Ecamm today, so I can't show it to you. But it's just a really interesting, story/book. And I really enjoyed it. And I'd say this is great for anybody, teens and upwards. It is designed for your iPad. So it is, a great game for that. It does appear to also work on the Mac App Store if you want to play it on the Mac, but it is not designed for your iPhone. So you will need a larger screen device to play this on. But yeah, it's even got a cute dog in there. And I know, Mikah, you love cute dogs so much.
I do love
so I think you
dogs.
might actually enjoy. Anyway, let's move on to the final app in this category, which is Klima. And it is pronounced Klima because it's from a German company. You can tell that because their company name ends with GmbH, which is GmbH. And Klima is all about offsetting your carbon footprint. So basically, the app is designed to help you calculate your carbon footprint and trying to help you neutralize your CO2 emissions in 3 minutes. That's pretty amazing. That's a pretty amazing claim. And the app, of course, is free because climate change, if it comes at a price, people tend not to want to pay that, as evidenced by the number of people who don't have solar panels on their roofs. I unfortunately can't. But the idea is you can fund climate projects, and you can fund tree planting, solar power, social impact projects, or all three of those. And all the projects are independently measured. They're verified and they're monitored by international standards. So the idea is you are trying to, make the world a better place, which I'm sure we all want to do. I saw some comments earlier today in the Club Twit Discord about people saying, they wish the world was better, but I think if everybody does their part in all of the areas, then you can do that. So, of course, the app is free to download. The subscriptions inside of it for, offsetting your carbon footprint, obviously, you're going to need to pay for those separately, but they are not done directly through Apple Pay because you're not, or through the App Store, sorry, that Apple Pay is supported. So they're not done through the App Store because otherwise people will be very surprised at the in-app purchases and possibly turned off. I also love the fact that in their app update notes, it does not say bug fixes and improvements. It says at the end of it, as always, if you've got feedback or a question, reach out hi@klima.com. So, they're there to talk to you. And obviously they're trying to do a great thing. So we could all stand to try and do something a little better with regards to our carbon footprint, I'm sure. And it's useful at the very least to calculate your carbon footprint to see how much you can offset yourself.
Agreed. All right. Next category, visuals and graphics. There are a couple here that we won't need to mention other than just to say their name. One is Little Orpheus because we talked about that earlier. And the other is Loóna, which Rosemary Orchard had as an app pick of the week before. Those are both really cool. Of course, we just talked about Little Orpheus, and Loóna is a beautiful visual game for sort of taking a breath, taking a pause. Great to play right before bedtime. We'll also glide past Genshin Impact, as it is a really popular game that I think a lot of people are already familiar with. In fact, it's one of the earningest games in the App Store. Genshin Impact is an adventure game that takes you through the it's sort of like what's the word I'm looking for? It's a Final Fantasy style RPG game. So we'll briefly mention that. But let's talk about Beyond a Steel Sky for a second, which is another adventure. This one has kind of striking graphics, given that it's an Apple Arcade game. It kind of gets panned, Apple Arcade games do, for not being, super high quality and kind of being arcadey. But this one, which of course you can get $4.99 a month to try it out, it's kind of ridiculous how incredible this is. It's got beautiful, beautiful graphics. It looks like you could be playing it on a console. And it is another really cool story. It says, an adventure set within a dynamic world populated by willful characters driven by motivations that the player can subvert. In combination with a unique hacking tool, multiple solutions to puzzles emerge from player choices. So you can unravel dark conspiracies, defeat a terrifying antagonist in this dramatic, humorous cyberpunk thriller, which explores contemporary themes, social control, AI, and total surveillance. So it's a puzzle game adventure. And again, I'm blown away by the graphics, which is no wonder it's in the visuals and graphics category on here. The other one we'll briefly mention is Not Boring Weather, which is a really pretty app for looking at the weather. I'll show it here briefly. So you can see that it's playing the video, kind of giving you an example of what it looks like. There are physics and different settings. Not Boring makes 3 different apps: a timer, a calculator, and Not Boring Weather itself. I'll switch over to my iPad just so you can see the app already done, already ready. And it is set for Seattle right now. I can tap my finger on it and sort of move it around to see some visuals there. Oh, look, there are birds hiding behind this sun. And then as you scrub, so I can take this and move it down here, you can see how the weather changes over time in Seattle as I move through this. And then again, I'll kind of move it around. If you tap on the weather itself, it'll tell you the information, like where the wind is blowing, what the cloud coverage looks like, UV temperature, et cetera, et cetera. And you can get a quick forecast down at the bottom, and then weather, or rather precipitation forecast over the course of the day. And then you can change your location in the top right if you want to. It's a stunning app that lets you check your weather. And as I said, it comes with 2 others, timer and the calculator. And the way that they've set this up is you get a 1-week trial. And then after that, you pay $1.99 a month. And that gives you access to all 3 of the apps: the calculator, Not Boring Weather, and the timer all together. So yeah, that is Not Boring Weather by Andy Works, LLC. The last one in this category is Mission to Mars AR, which, as you might experience, is an augmented reality experience that will take you to Mars.
So fun spoiler. I was actually going to pick this as my app cap for the week. It's been on my list for a while as a future app cap, and I'd finally decided I was going to pick it this week. And then I realized that Apple had nominated it, so that kind of stalled my fun. And it's installed on my iPad, which is a shame because it's a great app where you go on a mission to Mars, and it's an AR game. So you actually, well, not really an AR game. It's an AR experience. Yeah. Where you get to try lots of things. You know, there's the portal to Mars, driving the rovers, launching the rocket, missions on Mars, things like that, where you get to explore and look at the rovers and things like that. And it's just amazing. It's incredibly informative and informational. So anybody who, is interested in space and the Mars rover and things like that will enjoy this. But equally, if you've got kids who've been homeschooling, they've got a science class about space, this is going to be really useful. You can literally take Mars apart. You can drive a rover around Mars, things like that. That's going to be really fun for people to, explore it and see what it's like. And I really like it. You can even put, like Mars dust in your living room, and you don't have to vacuum afterwards. And that's just amazing. Do you want to squish your SUV with the Mars rover? You could do that.
Love it. And that one is available for free in the App Store, which is really nice that it doesn't cost anything extra. All right, the final category is innovation. And the first app within the innovation category is Bird Alone, that lonely bird that is my best friend now, who I named Oswald. I am so excited about this app now after having played it just for today. So cool. So you can check that one out. Again, Bird Alone is $2.99 in the App Store. The next one is an app called Blind Drive, and we'll show some video here. It's a black comedy action game, as they call it, but it is an audio experience. The conceit is that you are driving blind, and you have to just use the audio cues to play this game. So
Donnie here.
Just give it a listen here.
Start driving.
What the hell? Wait, hey!
Do you have ears?
I hope you made life enjoyable.
And this is how the game looks. It is quite literally, you can't see while you're driving. You only have your ears to listen while you play this game. So it's just it's a different kind of take. There are, as it says, boss fights where you're moving around. You might accidentally hit a goat. Oh no. And then if you crash, of course, you don't have any life left, then you've got to start over. That is Blind Drive. Blind Drive is $3.99 in the App Store. And it's just, I love whenever they kind of take an experience and sort of flip it on its head and say, there are plenty of driving games. Let's give you a driving game where you have to use your ears to play it. So pretty cool. Up next, League of Legends Wild Rift. Not going to give that much attention just because people who love League of Legends already know how this works, what it is, what you do. And if you don't, then you can learn more about League of Legends. It made it into the innovation category. It is League of Legends, very popular. So good to go there. Next one. Oh, and by the way, that's available for free with in-app purchases for free to play type stuff, tokens and coins and gold, glitter, dust, and what have you. Up next is Museum Alive. It's a $2.99 app, and Museum Alive is a pretty neat experience because it lets you explore some old school, some sort of old school, why am I saying old school? Prehistoric creatures is what I'm looking for on your iPhone using AR. So what I'll do here, let me mute so I don't have to hear this. This is David Attenborough, who is doing the narration for this. So I can scroll through Smilodon, Dimorphodon, Opabinia. And so we start over from the top because there are only 3 right now, but they are adding more. Let's go with the Opabinia. I don't know what that is. I'll tap Explore, and then it becomes an AR experience. So I need to find a flat surface. Okay, I found one. I hit the check button and pinch to scale the experience. I want to scale it down so that it's small enough for me to see. And then I'll tap the check mark. And then now you see it builds this world on top of my MacBook Pro that I can zoom into. And David Attenborough is currently giving me a narration talking about this little creature here, the Opabinia, which is an undersea creature. And yeah, it's moving around, sort of living as it would in its own little space and its own little environment. and I can look at it. I can start to scroll around and see what else is here in this space. Oh, look, there's, I can't tell if that's actually alive or if it's a fossil, or if it's just, it's shedding its skin, maybe like a locust. And it's moving around in its space as you hear and learn about it from David Attenborough. Like, come on, that's incredible. And as I said, there are 3 experiences right now, but they are going to be adding more over time. Coming up next, it looks like the dodo bird. We do love a dodo. So that will be coming soon with more information from that one. So yeah, this is a really neat little learning app that you and others can explore the world. I think this would be great for kind of younger kids too, or, younger. I think this would be a good app for kids in general, is what I should say, where you can learn more about these individual creatures and see about them. So that's Museum Alive with David Attenborough.
Yes, who just a point of reference for people outside of the UK, he is considered a national treasure over here. So, it's great. He's always up for doing anything about the environment and getting people educated on that. So I'm not surprised to see his name on an app.
Then we'll round it out with the last 2 apps. There's NaadSadhana, which is a machine learning AI app that lets you practice music. And so I think the best way to talk about this is by kind of reading about it. It says you can create a full automatic orchestra. NaadSadhana will create and play music automatically as you sing or play on 10 instruments, 8 genres using artificial intelligence. Actually, let's just play the video and see what happens.
Garaj garaj aaj megh ghanan ghanan chayuri. Garaj garaj aaj megh ghanan ghanan chayuri. Damak damak chamke bijuri. Kahte hai rituraj aayo, kahte hai rituraj aayo, kahte hai rituraj aayo. इस रुत के संग रंग हरित रंग में धरा सब विहंग आज.
The app will record your music at studio quality, and you get a multi-track session. It features in-ear monitoring, multi-track recording of all the instruments, and lets you then create a studio quality recording that you can publish. And so with that, of course, you can set it up exactly as you want to, edit it exactly as you want to. And it says that it guides your notes and tempo using visual biofeedback. It includes the genres of where was that? Tabla, drone, melody. Oh, no, I'm reading that wrong. It's Tanpura, Surpeti, Swarmandal, and then it also has classics, violin, piano, harmonium, and percussion, manjira, gungro, and shaker. So a really interesting app that has some built-in AI for helping you create musical experiences that have all of these different instruments involved that it bases on your own singing. So even if this style of music is not necessarily your style of music, I think it's worth kind of downloading it just to give it a go, as they do have the classic Western, or I shouldn't say classic because it's only classical in perspective, but they have Western genre, they have fusion genre, they've got Bollywood, Carnatic, Bhajan, Kirtan, and several others as well, Hindustani, classical. So lots of different options there that you can play around with and give it a go to check it out. That is NaadSadhana. It's available for free. If you want the pro version, it's $4.99 a month. And it's been, as I said, nominated for innovation. And then there's the last app on the list. It is called...
Yes.
Go ahead. Yeah, tell us about it.
The last app on the list is Universe. So anybody who's wanted to build a website before but doesn't have the expertise to go ahead and, create HTML and stuff from scratch, which, let's be honest, most people don't do nowadays. They'll use some other programming language like PHP or JavaScript, React, something to create it. If all of those sound alien to you, then, you're not going to be sitting down writing your own website. And Universe is an alternative to other solutions out there. So if you've heard of Squarespace or Shopify, things like that, Universe is an alternative. And it's a drag and drop website builder, which you can use on your iPhone or iPad as well as on the Mac. Now, it is free to download, but it does have in-app purchases and subscriptions. And that is because you host your website with Universe. It's an all-in-one system. So you can buy Universe Pro for one site for a month for $9.99, or for a year for $120. And it's pretty cool. And if you don't have any experience in building websites, but you do want to have your own shop or something, or, set up a blog, then this is a way of doing that. And you can actually do it on your iPad as well. I know I've had a lot of people get in touch with me asking, hey, so how do I use Squarespace on my iPad? And the answer is it's pretty tricky. Squarespace is a great solution, but it just doesn't work so well on the iPad. And this has an iPad app. So it's a lot easier from that perspective. And it looks pretty good as well. I've not had a chance to really play with the resulting code and analyze it from websites, but let's be honest, even WordPress websites nowadays don't create necessarily the best code, but it works, and that's what counts. It works, and it's quite affordable as well if you're looking to create a website. So it's a great option.
Yes, indeed. I started playing with it this morning just to give it a go. And it's a really interesting app here that has so many built-in features. I'm going to take that and I need to shrink it down to one square so that it's not all silly there. So I created this site super quick based on a template. You can add GIFs to the page. It's set up like a grid. So you just tap to make adjustments to these individual sections. I can change the style of the text. I can change the text type, change the color of it. If I wanted a different background on this specific area, then I could do that. So maybe I would make this a lighter color to match in theme with that. And then I can tap OK. And then all of these different sections. This, again, is based on a template. So it did not, I have not updated it yet with the new stuff. So I'll change the style, for example, of this and shrink it down so you can see everything. And maybe we would change that to, oh, wow, that's hard to read. Subscribe. Or something like that. And then you can change how, what the button does individually, if it opens a different page. And then I can say subscribe to my podcast. And then we'll tap the check button. I can add text, photo, payment, download, button, video, gallery, link, loop, which is a quick little video loop, contact information, Shopify if you have a pro account, subscribe, map, YouTube, SoundCloud, Vimeo, Jiffy, cache, which just gives the cache tag on there, a shape, and then code. Again, that's a custom one. And so let me just show you the little Jiffy integration just because it's kind of fun and easy. And we'll do, let's do, what happens if I type in Chihuahua? We'll go with this one. And then I can change the style to give it sort of a background like so. And we'll make that a heart. And then if the action did something, I could add, a link to it if I wanted to. That is how easy it is to quickly add different sections. You can, add links and everything like that. And then I'll pop out of here. Oops, I need to tap next. And now it's uploading it to my site, which is mikah.onuniverse.com. And I'll choose done. And then we'll go back to the main page here where you can see the different stuff that's available. You can add different pages under the pages section. You have the option to give, description of the site and make adjustments there. And then it has lots of little guides to help you through understanding how to use it and what you need to do. So yeah, that's Universe. I think this is a brilliant way of doing it. Where classically you'd have to go online on a computer or something like that. A lot of people may just have these devices, these tablets or phones, and they want to be able to do the editing from there. So yeah, as you said, it's a really clever way to make that happen. Folks, somehow we got through all of the finalists for the Apple Design Awards. I didn't know if we were going to do it, but we did it. And I think there are a lot of good choices. I think it's going to be hard for Apple to decide who actually wins for these categories. I certainly found a bunch of new apps to download. I don't know about you, Rosemary.
Yeah, I did. Especially the Apple Arcade games. There's so many games on Apple Arcade. It's always hard to just pick one. And so I usually end up just picking whatever's at the top when I want a new game and never really scrolling all the way down. So I've missed a lot of gems, and it's great to see some of these have been unearthed by the Apple Design Awards. So hopefully they'll keep this list available. I noticed if you look back at last year's list, you can only see the winners, which is a real shame. So hopefully they'll keep the full list of finalists available somewhere.
Yes. All righty. Let us take a quick break before we round things out with our feedback and app caps. Folks, I love them. I love them. This episode of iOS Today is brought to you by Audible. Have you ever wanted to, let's say, read a memoir and you just didn't have the time? Or maybe you found a title you couldn't put down, but you kind of had to put down because you needed to fold the laundry. Now you can do both because Audible makes it possible. I like how that almost rhymes. It's nice. When you're driving, cooking, cleaning your house, or just relaxing, you can listen to amazing audio files with Audible. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word entertainment all in one place. At Audible, you can find the largest selection of audiobooks, ranging from bestsellers and new releases to celebrity memoirs, languages, business, motivation, and more. Get original entertainment from top celebrity creators and thousands of popular and binge-worthy podcasts. That's right. Audible also has podcasts. They are now offering their newest plan, Audible Plus. With Audible Plus, you get full access to the popular Plus catalog. Audible Plus is all about giving members a chance to listen to and discover new favorites and explore different formats, like the exclusive Words Plus Music series, or maybe a podcast you never considered before, even theatrical performances. You can listen all you want to thousands and thousands of popular audiobooks, original entertainment, and podcasts, including ad-free versions of your favorite shows and exclusive series. They're all available to download or stream, so you can listen anywhere, anytime, on any device, and you'll never lose your spot. To use your Audible membership, you just download the Audible app. The Audible app is free and can be installed on all smartphones and tablets. I love Audible. I don't know what I would be doing if I didn't have Audible, because quite literally, it seems like anytime my ears and brain don't have to be focused on a task, they are focused on my Audible account, my Audible library. I've got lots of audiobooks, lots and lots of fantasy audiobooks, magic and dragons and all that kind of stuff. I love world building and rules around magic and all that kind of thing. And one of my favorite series of audiobooks and just titles in general is the Iron Druid Chronicles, which is a series that is all about a druid who's almost kind of a reluctant druid, has been a druid for 1,000 years and is just making their way through life and meets up with some friends and some rivals and has this whole story going through their experience. But one of the reasons I love this is because the narrator of this series, Luke Daniels, is an incredible performer and has so many different character voices. And in fact, Atticus is the main character, and Atticus's dog, Oberon, is able to speak because Atticus has sort of given the dog that ability by being able to communicate with the dog and through that kind of improve upon his intelligence. And I love the Iron Druid Chronicles so much that a friend of mine sent me officially licensed Oberon stuffed toy because of how much I think Oberon rocks. So you should definitely, if you like science fiction or if you like fantasy in particular, you should definitely check out the Iron Druid Chronicles. In fact, one of my colleagues here at Twit messaged me after the first time talking about Audible and mentioning the Iron Druid Chronicles and says, "Oh my God, I love the Iron Druid Chronicles. You like them too?" And we had a moment sharing our love for this series. So yeah, it's really incredible. And I like when there are several audiobooks in a series because that means I get to listen to so much content. There's so much because I'm constantly listening to Audible. I'm always looking for new titles. And so, yeah, it's nice whenever there are a bunch of audiobooks within a series that I can listen to. You out there, should know that listening to Audible will make you feel inspired, connected, and it's available all in one app. Audible Plus is your playlist for life. So what are you waiting for? Delve into your next title on Audible with Audible Plus. New members can try Audible Plus for 30 days. Download the Audible app and get started with a free trial at audible.com/iOS today. Or we've got a short code for you. Text iOS today to 500-500. That's AUDIBLE.com/iOS today, or text iOS today to 500-500 to start your free trial today. Oberon and I say, go sign up for Audible. Thank you, Audible, for sponsoring this week's episode of iOS Today. All right, Oberon, it's time for you to go away now, pal. Look at your ears. They're so cute. They're stuck up. All right. Audible.com/iOS today. Thank you, Audible. And now back to the show. I believe it's time for Shortcuts Corner. Folks, this is the part of the show where you get to ask questions of Rosemary Orchard related to series shortcuts. So, Rosemary Orchard, tell us, what is the Shortcuts Corner request for today?
Well, the Shortcuts Corner request for today came from Steve on Twitter. Fortunately, he tagged me, so I got to see it. And Steve on Twitter asks, is there a Siri shortcut to find out how many times I wash my hands per day by taking data from my Apple Watch? Well, Steve, the good news is there is, and I'm going to show you how to build this, and then we're going to put a link in the show notes to the finished shortcut so you can just download this. Now, if you, to start with, I need to actually press the button and share my iPhone so that people can see it if they're watching the video stream. So when you create a new shortcut, first thing you need to do is add an action. And if you tap into the app section, then scroll down, possibly, depending on how many apps you've got installed. Yeah, I've got a lot of apps here. And look for the health app. Then you'll see there are actually 4 actions here. So you can log a health sample, you can log a workout, you can get details of a health sample, or you can find your health samples. And it starts by finding all your health samples, and then it narrows it down a bit. So it looks for steps in the last 7 days. So the first thing we need to do is tap on steps. And this is not quite alphabetical order. So I'm just going to cheat and type hand, which gives us hand washing. And then start date. If you just tap the is in the last for this, then you can change that to is today. Now, if we run this, in my case, this is no samples found because I've developed a habit of actually taking off my Apple Watch and scrubbing like up to here when I really need to thoroughly wash my hands. It's possibly not great. I should start logging my hand washing instead with a shortcut, but we'll get back to that in a minute. So now we have our samples and we need to count these. And so then I will actually just tap OK there, and it comes back with 0. So now we just need to give ourselves the results. And there's a great action for this called show results. But if we just do this like this, then it tells me I've not got any health samples. That's okay. And it just says 0. And I don't know about you, Mikah, but that seems like a pretty, rubbish end of shortcut, you look at it and it's just like 0, great, or 10 or 100, whatever. But if we tap on this count, okay, and then we look down here at the bottom, in the top left of this, there's a little keyboard on a back button, and then you can actually go ahead and edit it. Now I'm going to use a little trick that I know here, which is if you tap and hold on the space bar, then you can move the cursor. This is much easier than tapping around. So now you can type something. You washed your hands, count, tap and hold on the space bar to move again, times today. Done. Okay, so now when I run my shortcut, that's okay. You washed your hands 0 times today. Oops. Well, that's not true. I promise it's not. I've washed my hands many times today. But this is what happens when you take your hands off every time. Take your watch off every time. So now you can just go ahead and save that. I will not. I'll tap cancel. I'll just tap into the one that I created earlier. And here it is, ready to share. So I can just share that with some people. But instead, we'll put a link to that in the show notes for everybody, because this is a useful one. The count action is really useful for people who have the multiple things that they want to just get the number of. So, for example, if you've done 7 workouts today, I hope they were short. Please don't overdo it. But it's it's really nice to just know how many times you've done something. So there we go.
Awesome. All right. Now it's time for feedback. This one comes from Michael via the Club Twit Discord server. Good day, Mikah and Rosemary. I have some questions about the Apple Digital Master logo I have on some of the albums I purchased from the iTunes store. I remember reading about an update to the music app that will allow for music to be listened to, be downloaded and played in a lossless format. So what does this logo mean for me as a consumer? How can I best take advantage of this format? And this comes from Michael, again, in the Discord. So, Michael, the first thing to know is that Apple Digital Master does not necessarily mean that the file is lossless or spatial audio. Apple put out some new information for artists who publish to Apple Music that has some tools included to make it so that going forward, kind of all of the tracks that they have published into the Apple Music library are kind of future-proofed, that they are ready for the next iteration of Apple Music that has options for lossless, that has options for spatial music as well. It is a unique. Like I said, it's a new and unique kind of way to prepare the files. So if you're seeing what is it called again? The Apple Digital Master logo in your music, then you are looking at you're kind of confirming that these folks have already taken advantage of the tools that Apple has provided to make sure that the music is ready for the next generation. And if you have albums and tracks that don't have that, then it just means that those that publishers or whatever, if they're independent artists, then those independent artists have not updated the music with the new thing. But lossless and spatial are subsets of the Apple Digital Master. So in order to do the lossless audio or do the spatial audio, they have to create this in the new Apple Digital Master format and then provide special tools or special kind of adjustments to the file to provide for a lossless music experience or a spatial music experience. So just seeing that alone does not mean that you need to do anything special or different. The music is still going to be the same, or close to the same. It's just that Apple is kind of officially putting a badge on this and saying Apple Digital Master is the way to go to make sure that the music can take advantage of these new technologies or new formats if they are available. And it also makes for a better file size on your devices too. So if you like to have music downloaded, especially before you go on a flight or something like that, you're better off getting those Apple Digital Masters. So you might use that as a way to kind of decide which one makes sense for you to download and have stored locally. But outside of that, once Apple has officially launched the lossless and spatial audio, then there are two things you need to know, Michael. One is that for lossless audio, you are going to need to have headphones or speakers of some sort that can play lossless audio. And if you're just using your iPhone, Apple itself says you need to have a DAC that supports lossless audio. A DAC is a digital analog converter. So the device itself does not provide for that experience. You could do it on the Mac, that's a different thing. But the device itself does not provide for that experience. You need to make sure that you have something connected to it that will help play those audio files at their proper lossless format. And then on the side of spatial, you need to have spatial enabled headphones or speakers or what have you. So Apple's own AirPods Pro, and then as Rosemary is holding there, Apple's own AirPods Max. Either of those, popping those things on will let you listen to the spatial audio on your device, and you can take advantage of that. So again, right now, Michael, no need to do anything to change because Apple Digital Master, the only thing that you can do is kind of celebrate, hey, cool, I've got Apple Digital Master files. And so it's the better, newer format. And as far as the rest of it, that will come probably sometime after WWDC. We'll start to see the lossless and spatial audio come to the App Store or to the Apple Music, at which point, as I said, you'll need to have the proper hardware for that. So I hope that answers your question, Michael, and we do appreciate you sending in your question. All righty. Let us move on to our app caps. Folks, this is the part of the show where we wear silly hats atop our heads or caps, I should say. They're not always hats, to honor our app picks of the week. These are the apps that maybe we've used for a while that we feel it's time to share with all of you, or new apps we've come across that have us excited. And let me tell you, it was kind of hard this week because we had to choose apps that weren't among the Apple the Apple Design Awards picks. So it was kind of a tough call, but we got there in the end. Rosemary Orchard, tell us about the cap you wear atop your head, and then tell us about your app cap.
Sorry, I just can't get over the wings. You're going to have to describe that for audio listeners. I'm not even going to try it. So I've recently been watching Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. I'm very inspired by the White Rabbit. And so I picked my nice hat with white fluffy bunny ears. So it's kind of a black felt cap with a white brim, a little checkered bow tie on the front, and then some bunny ears on the front of that, because why not? And my app pick for the week is an app which is definitely functional, and it is File Explorer Pro. Now, most of you probably know that you can connect to servers in the Files app and so on, but I've personally always found it a little bit of a flaky experience, let's put it that way. And specifically, like trying to transfer lots of things at the same time, dealing with zipping files and grabbing them from multiple places to do that, you always end up using a third-party app like Yoink or something else to try and, get everything together to start with. And that kind of feels like it's defeating the point. If I'm going to use a third-party app to grab all those files, then why not just use a third-party app to do this with? And this is where File Explorer Pro comes in. So there's also a free version of this app. I've got the one with the blue app icon, but there's also one with an orange app icon, which is free. And the limitations for it are explained on the page, but this is $4.99. So if you try out the free one and it seems to be working for you, and you want to be able to connect to more servers and so on, then File Explorer Pro is the way to go. So to start with, you can just add a server, and you can add macOS machines, you can have Windows machines, Linux machines, NAS, if you've got a Synology or something. I've got one right down there. You can even connect to Time Capsule. If you've got a Western Digital, those cloud drives, that's a Western Digital NAS, you can connect to that. You can connect to WebDAV, FTP, SFTP, OwnCloud, NextCloud, Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, Box, and even just external locations like a USB that you plug into your iPhone or iPad. And what I really like about this as well is if you have multiple Dropbox accounts, which I'm sure some of you listening to this show are. If you're listening to the show, you're going to be, slightly more technical than your average, iOS user possibly. And so if you've got multiple Dropbox accounts, or maybe, you need access to your partner's Dropbox account every so often to help them out, you'll have found that trying to connect multiple Dropbox accounts using the Dropbox app on iOS, not such a great experience. Well, here you can actually set it up with more than one. And I've got it set up with my Dropbox account. So once it loads all that up, then you'll see I've got a whole bunch of folders and everything there. But I just find this is a really easy app for grabbing files, wrangling them. You can set it up so that there's passwords and stuff behind this. So if you need to transfer files to and from secure servers, then you can make sure that this app stays secure. So it's not just that somebody can pick up an unlocked iPhone and get into this. No, you have password protection on this as well. It also has access to your photo library if you give it that. So you can upload photos. So if I wanted to upload a picture of an ice cream that I ate earlier today, or a picture of my bumper that I took, for example, then I was just interested in the way the light played off of that. Then, you can grab those and then upload them somewhere else. You can also store files in the File Explorer Pro folder in iCloud. I personally haven't had a reason to do that, but you could. And it's just great. If you need to be able to see hidden files like a .git file or a .env file, you can toggle that on and then you'll actually be able to see those on servers. So basically this takes the Files app, adds some extra features to it. And if you're dealing with, stuff like this a lot, and you tend to just have your iPhone in your pocket, this is an extremely handy tool to add onto the Swiss Army knife that already is your iPhone. It even has options to do a built-in server, so you can transfer files between iOS devices and it connects as a server for other applications. It is a great app. I really like it. It's been incredibly useful for me for all sorts of things. And it's even got a nice help documentation built in where it will go through and show you how to set everything up. So if you want to know how to do document editing, you can do that. If you want to know how to AirPlay to the Apple TV, it will show you how to AirPlay to the Apple TV. And it talks about supported formats and unsupported formats as well, and how you can get around that limitation. So if you have an AVI file and you want to play it on the Apple TV, it shows you to do that with screen mirroring. So it's really useful, and I really love it. So that is File Explorer Pro.
Awesome. That is a very powerful tool for sure. All right. Well, the cap I wear atop my head today is a duck or a bird of some sort. I'm not sure. But this one comes with little strings attached to the bird that allow me to tug the strings to make the wings flap while they are on my head. So I can make the bird look like it's flying while I'm wearing it. And maybe I'll take off into the sky and disappear, never to return again. We'll see. But for now, I'll stay. Oh, wow. I've just realized that this kind of is, it's like a fan. It's cooling me down. The wings flapping down provide a little bit of air. So I'm getting a nice breeze. Thank you, bird. All right. Let me talk about my app. It is an app called Ghost Seeker. And Ghost Seeker is a really cute little app that lets you play hide and seek with ghosts. So I think it was the last WWDC, Apple announced an update to ARKit that would let developers take advantage of geolocation information to create AR experiences that were tied to a specific location. So the idea there is that maybe the thought that I had was sort of an AR bulletin board or refrigerator, where if everybody in the house has an iPhone, then they could go to the specific place in the house and lift up their phone and then look and see this interactive bulletin board that had notes on it and had links and whatnot that everybody could then make use of. And it was tied to that location. So instead of it needing to be something that, would pop up anywhere, you could like drop and place it, you go to that specific place and then you can find it. This app takes advantage of that feature where you can drop something in a place and then other people can go and find that thing while it's there. So the way that you play this is by choosing a ghost that you want to hide and then hiding it somewhere in your home and then inviting other people to come and find that ghost. So I'm going to show you, I set one up earlier. So I'll tap on the top left and choose, oh no, I don't do that there. I'll choose Seek at the bottom. And you can see that if I had friends sending me invites to find ghosts, then I would see that under the invites section. And then you can see here, I've got saved games. And so I've got this one that I created today. So I'll tap on that. And there are 2 ghosts that I need to find. And what I love about this is that they set it up so that you take a photo whenever you create a hidden experience, so that the players have to find that hidden experience first and then align their cameras to that. So in the process of aligning their camera to that place, not only are you kind of giving them a starting zone to help find it, but it's also then setting up the ARKit experience along with it. So it's just a really clever way to set that up. So what we'll do here is we'll find the 2 ghosts. I'll tap start. And you can see, oh, there was the ghost. It was very easy for me to find because I put it right in front on purpose. But I need to find that other ghost. So there's a little wave down at the bottom that I'm supposed to use to help kind of guide me. I'm looking for the other ghost. Where did I put it? I thought I put it over here. maybe I didn't. I could have sworn I put that ghost over here somewhere. I don't see it.
It's hiding from you.
It is hiding.
Maybe it's using a secret feature where ghosts can be invisible.
It might be. Yeah, I don't see it now, but let me show you. I'll show you how to create a new game since I am having trouble discovering that. I'll choose Spectre, and then it lets you hide Spectre and Spirit. So now I'll choose Hide Ghosts, and you move around your iPhone, of course, to set up the experience. Now it's detected, and I choose Spectre, and then I tap somewhere to drop that ghost. So it starts out kind of big. I'm going to shrink it down because it's just a little space here. And we'll put Spectre over here. And then now I choose Spirit. And let's put Spirit on top of or near my little doodle. And we'll shrink down the ghost. And now Spirit is near my doodle. Oh, I guess I can hide Spirit more than once. Oh, look, I can make Spirit so small.
Oh, I love the animation here. It's really lovely design.
Just a little subtle animation. So now I'll tap done. And then again, start the trigger image. I think this time we'll do, so I'll tap that and then move the camera slowly to take a photo. And let us do, let's do this coffee cup as the starting image, which I just used, or I just finished drinking out of today. And then you can set a timer as well. So you can say, they have 30 minutes to try and find the ghosts. So I'll just set that up just so you can see how that works. I'll tap save. And then at this point, you can take this and share it out to other people to have them play the seeking game. But I'll tap on it and I look for the starting location. There it is. I tap start. I've got 25 minutes to find the ghost. I already found all three because, again, they were right there in front of the camera. But that is how you play with Ghost Seeker. It's available for free in the App Store, and it's a fun way to take advantage of the new AR kit features that are available as part of iOS right now. But you obviously get the idea that you want to hide them all over the house, not just in one place. And by hiding them all over the house, then somebody kind of has to run around looking quickly to find it. So I think I'm going to try to play this with my partner if I can get him to download the app and see how that goes. But
I mean, if you're wearing that hat, I'm sure you can talk him into anything. Oh my God,
that's true.
Gonna be great.
That is very true. And you can also, there are in-app purchases to buy more Spectres, more designs of ghosts if you want to, but you don't really need to. It's just a way to support the developer essentially. So you should if you can, but not necessary. Yeah, Ghost Seeker in the App Store. And with that, we have reached the end of another episode of iOS Today. All that's left is to tell you all that if you have questions or shortcuts that you want answered or created, respectively, then you should send those questions via email to iostoday@twit.tv or use Twitter, hashtag AskIOSToday, or you can leave those questions in the Discord, the Twit Discord, or send them on IRC while we're recording the show. Any of those places will let you. And let's see what else. You can, of course, tune in live to watch the show right along with us, to watch the show while we are doing the show right along with us. We record live every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And you just go to twit.tv/live to get that. But the best way to get the show is by subscribing to it, which you can do by going to twit.tv/iOS. There, you will see links to subscribe to the show in various formats, subscribing to audio or video across Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. We're in all those places. So you can follow or subscribe depending on what verb the subscription service is using. Rosemary Orchard, if folks want to follow you online and check out all the great work you're doing, where do they go to do that?
Well, the best place to follow me and see updates is on Twitter or micro.blog with the username Rosemary Orchard. You can also get there from my website, rosemaryorchard.com, which has links to all the podcasts I do, books I've written, and of course, a link back to here, iOS Today. And so you can always come back to one of your favorite podcasts, or at least I hope it is. Mikah, where can people find you?
If you're looking for me online, you can find me at Mikah Sargent on quite a few social media sites, or head to chihuahua.coffee, CHIHUA.coffee, where I've got links to the places I'm most active online. And now it's time to mention, we've got a fantastic offering available for you. It's called Club Twit. And if you would like to get all of our shows completely ad-free, check out Club Twit for $7 a month. You get every Twit show free of ads, plus access to an exclusive Twit Plus bonus feed with extra content and what is quickly becoming the best part of the Club Twit benefit. It's the members-only Discord server. With that, you can hang out with other fellow Club Twit members and hang out with the hosts. And for some shows, we have people come up on stage on Windows Weekly every week. They've been asking questions of Mary Jo Foley and Paul Thurrott during the near the end portion of the show, which has been a lot of fun. All of that is available to you by going to twit.tv/clubtwit and signing up to check it out. $7 a month. And we thank you, Club Twit members, who have been supporting Twit directly through Club Twit. We really do thank you for that. All righty, folks. That is it. That wraps it up. This has been iOS Today. We've been Rosemary Orchard and Mikah Sargent, and we will continue to be those people. Unless one of us goes into witness protection, or both. You never know. Until then, goodbye.
Hey, if you like tech news, but you also like hearing about it from the people who are actually writing the stories, well, I've got a show for you. It's called Tech News Weekly, and it's me, Jason Howell, along with my co-host, Mikah Sargent. Every week, we invite the people making and breaking the biggest tech news stories from around the web onto this show to talk to us about it. It's a lot of fun. You should check it out. Tech News Weekly can be found at twit.tv/TNW every Thursday. We'll see you there.